for Sony Pictures, all the pressure is on Elysium.
No,
for their
really?
whole summer. Yeah,
Oh,
so
why? You don't need that.
thanks, New York Times.
Yeah. Well, I don't understand. Explain that to me from a business standpoint. What are we talking about?
Well, they've had some hits and they've had some misses, and so it's all going to ride on Elysium, according to the New York Times.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Now, does that filter down to you? Do you feel the pressure?
Yeah, no, what happens for me is I just feel pressure to try to make good movies, but no, for me, a weird thing happens where I get this kind of weird, almost Tourette's thing where I just immediately think of the exact wrong thing to say to try to get people to come see the movie. Ask me what Elysium's about.
Well, tell us a little bit about the film Elysium.
Well, how much do you know about fracking?
Well, I know. What?
Literally, the head of Sony, Amy Pascal's head just exploded in L.A.
Now, you're talking about the fracking movie that you made before. Now, I enjoyed the fracking movie.
Thank you, and so did I, but we were the only two people who saw it.
No, that can't be so. And the other guy, your other buddy, was in the movie.
Yeah, John Krasinski.
Yes,
yeah,
it was, I thought it was informational. And this fracking, I'm telling you, you get yourself on the wrong end of the fracking, it's bad business. It is bad business.
That's why we made Elysium.
That's right.
It is a science fiction fracking movie.
No, we're selling tickets now, but it's
like hotcakes.
No, fracking. Here's the problem. Elysium. Here's the solution.
Yes, exactly.
See,
exactly.
This man knows what he's doing. But the fracking, I mean, water is disappearing from the planet. I mean, we have poisoned and drained the great aquifers underneath the Great Plains, for heaven's sakes.
Literally, now probably there are about 300 studio executives in Sony whose brains are melting right now.
They're going, wait, brains? Yeah.
Wow.
Listen, we'll do a thing and then we'll come back.
Fantastic.
All right, we'll be right back here with Matt Damon, ladies and gentlemen. The new movie Elysium opens August 9th. Very nice. There's many things that I would like to ask you about, but we'll start with this one. I know a little something about this project. George Clooney is the director. Maybe he did the screenplay, I'm not sure. But it stars you, George Clooney, Bill Murray, John Goodman, on and on and on, others and others and others. It's a story from World War II about preserving art treasures that the Nazis had pillaged. Tell us about work. Had you worked with Bill Murray before?
No, I'd never worked with Bill. I was just a fan. And he and George became friends, about 5 or 6 years ago. And George really just put this whole group together. I mean, Bill's awesome in the movie. Yeah. He's really great. And George really was one of the best directors I've ever worked with. And I've worked with a lot of directors. Yeah.
That's amazing,
It's so frustrating. It's like,
yeah, I know.
No, it's honest to God. It's like God said, maybe this once I'm just gonna keep going. Maybe give him more, Sure, he's an actor and a writer and a producer. He's a director. Yeah, why not? It's obscene.
Yeah. Well, it could be God thinking, well, I've got to do something because he's so awfully homely. So we're going to have to load him up with something, for the love of God.
Something to help balance out those horrible looks.
But it must have been, were the three of you all together, and you throw John Goodman into this mix, and you got a party, my friend. Did you guys do stuff while you were filming?
We mostly would go out for dinners, Saturday nights. I mean, George was super focused. It's a huge movie. It's a big World War II fracking movie, actually.
Wow. The fracking things is all anybody's talking about, really.
Yeah, it's for the same studio, so they're going to be thrilled. Wow, I've got a summer and a Christmas movie with them, and they're both about fracking.
It's a fracking Christmas with Matt Damon. Hey, I got your fracking Christmas. Let's talk about Speaking of water, I admire this, what you've done with getting water, potable water to people, and we're running out of it, getting it to children and people who don't have safe water to drink. How is that going? Who is involved in this, and how do they get water if they don't have it?
Well, it's water.org is the foundation. And
is that what this picture is with your head in the toilet?
Oh, no, oh, yeah. No, earlier this year, I went on a toilet strike. I stopped going to the bathroom. And I did that for about 6 months to draw attention to the fact that 2.5 billion people lack access to adequate sanitation. You know, so actually more people have a cell phone than have access to a toilet.
Well, if you want staggering statistics, the #1 killer of young people in Africa, do you know what it is? The #1 killer. #1 killer.
Clean water.
It's related.
What is it?
Diarrhea.
Well, yeah, that's. No.
It's not funny.
Not funny at all.
No, there's nothing funny.
We talk about that, like because that is actually one of the ways. Because you try to get people to relate to it. It's very hard for people to relate to it here because we just go to the sink to get clean water. But when you say that, parents they can connect that because all of our kids have dealt with that, and it's not a big deal. I mean, a lot of times you don't even keep them home from school.
Right. Should not be a big deal
because the cure is clean water. But if you can't get access to clean water, it can kill people. It's actually every 21 seconds. A child under the age of 5 dies because they lack access to clean water and sanitation.
It's the same thing. And we are so lucky in our part of the world, but most people are not within like 90 minutes or 150 miles or 200 miles of modern medical treatment.
Yeah, or, I mean, oftentimes the cure is just clean water.
Right.
You know, you don't even have to go to a hospital. You just need some clean water, and you know.
It's a giant puzzle, and we've scrambled the pieces.
Yeah, but look, I'm a perennial optimist. I mean, we reached 1 million people last October. We hit our first 1 million people reached, and thanks. And we're going like we're going. And a lot of people are you know, and I meet the new generation, like the kids coming out of college now, are just so much cooler than my generation, and so much more selfless. And you know, I really think they're gonna do a lot for us.
That's great to hear, because I've given up, and I've worried. I've worried about and you have 4 girls to worry about. I have 1 son to worry about. Anybody with kids should be looking ahead and worrying about situations like this. And while now they may seem removed and distant and just a problem for others, but in the future they're going to be right at our front door.
That's right. Yeah. That's right. And also I have my daughters to worry about, but now I also worry about your son, because I have 4 daughters.
Right.
You know. So imagine how much pressure that puts on me, and on top of that,
you're a man with a lot of pressure.
A lot of pressure. A lot of pressure.
Starting a foundation to raise money to keep my son away from his family. Well, okay, enough of this. Let's look at Elysium. This is where the wealthy people live when the rest of us are crawling around eating dirt. What are we going to see? It's a clip here.
This is not the fracking part of the movie. This is a different part. But it's I have to get to Elysium. I have 5 days, or I'm going to die. I have to get to Elysium where I can be healed of all my ailments. And I am now hijacking an Elysian citizen. It's a big action movie.
You know who's in the movie is Jodie Foster.
Jodie Foster.
I like Jodie Foster.
I love Jodie Foster.
She's tremendous. I wish, I kind of wish she was here now. Well, I mean,
I didn't think.
But you know what I mean.
I thought the interview was going okay.
No, everything's. I misspoke. I'm so sorry. I hurt his feelings. I feel terrible.
I should also say that this movie, did you see District 9? Yeah, this is the same guy who did District 9.
No, so. I saw District 8. Oh.
You really missed out. You should see District 9.
All right, so here, we're going to see it. This is a little bit of Elysium. And
the biggest movie of the summer.
Biggest movie of the summer,
there we go.
Gentlemen. August 9th. Yeah.
I think
Wow. Is this 3D, this movie?
No, it's not. This is old school, the way you should make a movie. It's 2D.
Yeah.
And I think it's safe to say that that droid just got fracked. Right?
I'll go you one better. That droid was homeschooled. Bro. Brother man. Yeah. Listen, yeah, I'm sorry you're moving. You'll be out there in California. I don't know if you're coming. Are you coming back or not?
I'll,
See, here's what
I'll
irritates
always
me.
come back.
You should come back, but we only see you when you have a big film to promote, which is fine. That's great. Come back and you're making movies. We would love that. But what about an interim visit, just to drop by? Well, now with the possibility of that is evaporating.
I can't walk down the street anymore.
Well, you never did.
No. I guess that's true.
Yeah. Well, you can see how my feelings have been hurt now, too.
Yeah. I kind of wish Jodie Foster were here now, too.
All right. There he is. It's Matt Damon, ladies and gentlemen. How you feeling, my friend?